I wonder what's in the news this week. Baldur's Gate 3 devs suggest next game may come in 2029, but maybe not. Don't hold us to a date. IGN. That is a good headline. Hey, we got a new studio announcement this week. Red Dead Redemption lead designer and writer Christian Cantamessa and Mario plus Rabbids creative director Davide Soliani launch video game company Day for Night Studios with funding from Krafton and 1UP Ventures. One thing I find funny about the coverage of this story in particular is that you'll find most sites put Mario plus Rabbids first. It's objectively a bigger deal to be the lead designer and writer of Red Dead Redemption. You've earned top billing, but there's more of a story with the Mario plus Rabbids guy. We like him. Back in E3 2017, we all got misty-eyed with him when he watched his hero Shigeru Miyamoto stand beside this other guy I don't recognize. By the way, there were a lot of comments last week that instructed me that it's not pronounced Yves. The S is silent. It is Yves Guillemot. Tail alert! If you want to survive in this business, you can't be walking around pronouncing it Yves. My mistake. Anyway, the unlikely combo Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle came out later that year, and it was an unexpected hit. Dream achieved. And then 5 years after that, in 2022, Davide is back with the announcement of Mario plus Rabbids Spark of Hope. The dream continues. More characters. Sparks. A Rayman tease? All the ingredients for another smash hit on the way. And then... not a hit. From a Ubisoft financial briefing here. Despite excellent ratings and players' reception, as well as an ambitious marketing plan, we were surprised by Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope underperformance in the final weeks of 2022 and early January. And apparently it did go on to sell at least 3 million copies after some heavy discounting. But now we're here. That creative director who everyone loved, who was fulfilling his dream to finally be working with Mario, he's taken a few of those Mario plus Rabbids co-workers and he started this cool new studio with this cool new logo. Mario plus Rabbids might never be seen again. So this week I've been thinking a lot about sequels that are better, pragmatically, logically better than their original, and yet people don't show up for them. These games that are out here just like, hello? Where is everyone? What did I do? It's like there's this whole category of games that are superior sequels that underperform. I'm sure I'll come up with more examples. For now, let's stick with just this Mario plus Rabbids game. Here are 3 reasons why Sparks of Hope had no hope. Number 1, not enough new. Here's a rare clip of me being incredibly right about something. I don't think it looks bad. It's one of those games that is probably just going to improve upon its predecessor in every possible technical way, and then still sell worse. So let me go back to last week's reveal of Ghost of Yotei. This is the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. Everyone's wondering, will this be enough to solidify the franchise? And obviously the 2 major takeaways from this trailer are the new location and the new protagonist. But what I find kind of funny about the format of the trailer is that it ends with a very video gamey, bullet pointy checklist of new features. Kusarigama, 2 swords, rifle. To be honest with you, I did have to look up that thing is called the Kusarigama. Trust me, if you want to survive in this business, you have to know what a Kusarigama is. But anyway, why I bring that up, the point I'm trying to make is that Ghost of Yotei gets away with it because to that game, to that series now, the weapons do mean more than new weapons mean to a Mario plus Rabbids game. The weapons are not the appeal of a Mario plus Rabbids game. It's the freaking weirdness of the crossover. So if you're going to add to a Mario plus Rabbids game, you're going to add to the appeal of it, the new thing needs to be new weirdness, a new crazier crossover. And Rayman was not enough. It's not crazy to see Rayman anywhere. You show me a clip of Rayman doing cocaine on Netflix, and I don't care, man. And back to our list. Reason number 2, too late. Launching with a new console is a big deal. You got this new console, you want to play some new games on it, and I feel like this was accentuated with the Switch for a few specific titles. Remember Super Bomberman R? Launched with the Switch, it was an unexpected hit. Super Bomberman R2 came out last year. They added new features and new modes and new characters, but it was nearly impossible to care about. 1-2 Switch was a successful Switch launch title. It was a party game that emphasized all the Switch's unique abilities. And then last year we saw the direct sequel, Everybody 1-2 Switch. And it was like, get out of here. We don't want you to do this anymore. Probably one of the worst reviewed Nintendo published titles of all time. Interesting fact here, if you want to buy 1-2 Switch, it's $50 US. And then if you want to buy Everybody 1-2 Switch, it's $30 US. That has to be rare, right? A direct sequel costing less than its original? And to be clear with you, it's not on sale, it's not a promotional price. Nintendo simply knows that Everybody 1-2 Switch is stinky. They know nobody wants to deal with that horse guy. I do think Mario plus Rabbids is a similar situation where it came out the first year of the Switch and it had some of that new Switch shine that had worn off in the 5 years it took to make that sequel. Which kind of leads us to number 3. Too soon. When Ubisoft had to make public its disappointment with sparks of hope, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot said this to GamesIndustry.biz. We had already released a Mario Rabbids game on Switch, so by doing another, we had 2 similar experiences on one machine. On Nintendo, games like this never die. There are 25 Mario games on Switch. Nintendo has advised that it's better to do one iteration on each machine. We were a bit too early. We should have waited for the next console. Yeah. Eve. Listen to Nintendo. But also, Nintendo, you shouldn't have made Everybody 1-2 Switch. So one series of trailers I've enjoyed following this year are for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, of the legendary Budokai Tenkaichi series, of course. Quick tip, trust me, if you want to survive in this business, you have to be able to rattle off Budokai Tenkaichi at a moment's notice. Those are 2 very important words. So this is one of my picks for my most anticipated trailers of 2024. Please don't look at the rest. This list is not going great so far. But my thinking when I made that video was that because we've had so many Dragon Ball games already, because we've been overexposed to all of its imagery, Sparking Zero would have to do something crazy. Turns out, no. All they had to do was exactly what everyone expected them to do. Now let me show you one of my favorite trailer devices of this entire year. So in the second trailer this game ever had, they started ending with this hexagonal grid. Wishlist now, of course. But you're looking at the promise. We're gonna fill this whole thing with characters. And almost every trailer after that, they're filling in more of those hexagons. More and more characters are showing up. And then in the final revealed trailer, when you think they're all done, nope, they add more hexagons. And unfortunately, the full roster did leak before that trailer, so it wasn't too much of a surprise, but I think it still served the purpose of making each of these things feel like an event, feel like you're making progress on your way toward the release date of this game. Cool thing.
本編のプレイヤブルキャラクター数は182体でした。
But I think the reason any of it works is because this is a Budokai Tenkaichi game in particular. A lot of this is a highly specific nostalgia play. They use music from the anime. Ultra Big Bang, there's one trailer that is impeccably similar to Toonami promos. I'll put you out of your mission. If Sparking Zero 2 comes out in a couple of years, there won't be the same level of enthusiasm that Sparking Zero is currently seeing. But for now, they're offering you something that has been away for a while. And that's actually the value. So what I'm saying is, maybe pack up Mario plus Rabbids for 17 years. Eve, put it in the vault. And that's delayed input. Now, we're about to take one of my regular 3-week breaks in between seasons. Gotta wave goodbye to my wrinkled up beach house. But the in-betweener video is actually coming sooner than usual, as next week, the Scoop Machine himself, Jason Schreier, will be stopping by this very YouTube channel on his video game media tour in promotion of his upcoming book, Play Nice. He'll be here next week. I've got a lot of questions for him. I hope he has patience for all of them. Anyway, Delayed Input will be back November 1st. Until then, thanks for watching. So when I was looking up Kusarigama on Wikipedia, they shared this interesting fact that in Ireland, if you build a Kusarigama, you can go to prison for 7 years. They call out the Kusarigama by name. And then I know this is immature because they're all weapons. They're all capable of killing people. But I wanted to know what all of those other things are, especially sap gloves. Sap gloves to me sounds like a video game thing. Turns out it's just gloves that have pockets where you can put weights in them. And then I was thinking, is that what Jin's got on the iconic cover of Tekken 3? Is that what those are? And then it turns out, no, that's very particular to Tekken. Because, yeah, his dad wears those too. I feel like this kind of thing happens a lot in life where you've kind of trained yourself to accept that most things you see are just part of normal life to somebody. You see a glove with 10 dots on it and you just assume that's what fighters wear. And then very suddenly, here I am. I just learned, no, that's just a Tekken thing. That's just a cool character design element. So while editing, I found this tweet from this person who thinks it's a JoJo reference. And I think they're right. It's always just been a JoJo reference. Look, not every one of these videos is going to end with a joke. Okay, sometimes I've just learned something interesting. And I wanted to share it. Yo!